and I will be your mistress of ceremonies for tonight. I am here with my colleague.
Strange collection. Last year we had an attendance of over 500 from over 5 regions in the country. Sweet and some of them, most of them came out very, very happy, and we saw people artwork. The Swedish artists who are practicing so open and half of the century. We had Abalilova, Asantehene, Francis Asantehene, L. Anachu, Peggy, Apia, Francis Adenola, Nana Ambonsa, Pamia Koto of Almighty Artworks, Single Women Organization for Poetry Art, and Garanta College of Art and Design. These guest laureates, as you know by now, are the following: Larry Otumfuo, Ibrahim Maham, Julie Hansen, Osei, Yao Usu, Victor Baba, Efia and Leon Radimon. The following dignitaries are mostly the ones representing governments and other institutions, and I'll run through that very fast. First, we have the Minister of Tourism and Culture and Creative Arts, Honorable Abdullah Owashi. Welcome to the class. And then we have, I'm sure we have a rep from the Ashanti Minister Frank, our very doctor. And then Richard Ajambodi, the Mayor of Kumasi. Also, DCOP, Ata Osei, Richard Police Commander. Also representing the Nana Takuma, the second of Mohima, and Nana Osei was there. His Excellency Christian War, British High Commissioner to Ghana, welcome to this great event. Excellency Ruth Keba, Shukriya Ambassador, welcome. Excellency Angel Osana Torres Ivado, Spanish Ambassador and wife. Excellency Amadou Nene Ndoye, Senegalese Ambassador and wife. Ms. Isabella Pamela, Deputy Head of Mission, Spanish Embassy. Excellency Mayor Thomas Anthony, Hungarian Ambassador and wife. Excellency Yuki Haide, Austrian Ambassador. Excellency Juliet Iron Sutherland, Barbados High Commissioner. This is spoke to Deputy President of the African Center for Economic Conservation, Accra and Washington. Ambassador, former Ghana Ambassador to France. Mr. Edmond Mukar, UNESCO representative to Ghana. Mr. Teresman, United Nations High Commission for Refugees. Ms. Leon Cheng, Security Advisor and Representative of Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, of the UN Department of Safety and Security. Ms. Aurora Rosica, Country Director of the UN Balls Program. Mr. Shodak Lisa, representing the Executive Director of the Eswatini National Trust Commission. Ms. Richard Ndagawanda, Asantehene Art and Culture, and Mrs. Margaret McQueen, Chief Executive of the Creative Seychelles Agents. Also with us, Mr. Frank Galai, former Attorney General of Seychelles, Stephanie Lisa, Curator from Seychelles, Professor Malcolm McLaren, former Vice Principal, University of Glasgow and the British Museum, Mr. Thomas Fontiak, Executive Group Chairman of the Safari and Honorable General for Colombia, Mr. Colombian, former Chief of Staff President, Dr. Martin Brembe, former Minister of Education and Energy, Professor Rita Akustia Dixon, former Vice Chancellor KNUST, Dr. Stephen Banahini, Vice Chancellor Christian Science and Technology, Professor Zhang Yonghu, China Director, Confucius Institute, University of Cape Coast, Professor Emmanuel Amu, Ghana Director, Confucius Institute, Professor Frederick Kweku-Safo, Vice Chancellor, Austed Kumasi, Mrs. Yvonne Dakwa Puku, President, Justice and Repair, Dr. Godfrey Odungu, Vice President, Justice and Repair, Mr. Kofi Abuaji Sapong, Adebi Sapong Foundations, Mr. Yao Safwa Sapong, Adebi Sapong Foundation, Professor Bernard K. Baden, Director of Operations, Royal Golf Club, Dr. Caroline Reindorf Abisa, Deputy Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Ms. Odile Tevi, Co-Founder of the Buku Foundation Accra, Professor Osman Tayidu, Secretary General, Ghana National Commission on UNESCO, Mr. Kwesi Esel Blankson, Director, Ghana Museums and Monuments Board, Mr. Wakefield Wisdom, Executive Director of the National Commission on Culture, Mrs. Marilyn Mami Ifo-Cheto, CEO of Ghana Tourism Authority, Professor Hajara El Dani, Board Chairman, National Folklore, Mr. Felix Siao Ajavo, Executive Director, National Folklore, Mr. Gideon Ayekwe, Executive Secretary of the Creative Arts Agency, and Dr. Lily C. Alfonso. And let's put our hands together for all these dignitaries who have been invited to join us today.
Okay.
And with that, I cross over to my beautiful queen.
Right. Loving C, you have to tell me something about your name. The C in the loving, is it the C that was promised to be brought into Asantehene?
It's not the ocean C, it's the alphabet C, and that C, it takes us way back into the day when I was playing in the nightclubs.
Okay.
Foxtrot, Kiravi, and the C stood for chap. They said that's the loving chap. So C is for the alphabet C.
Amazing.
Thanks so much for that.
Okay, Loving C, you would remember that last year when we had the inaugural event, we mentioned that this is a 10-year project which is being spearheaded by the Menchia Palace Museum. Also now, we have two main collaborators for this 10-year project. That's UNESCO Ghana and Justice and Repair. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for them. We also have support from Adebi Sapon Foundation and from our own Ministry of Culture, Tourism, and the Creative Arts. We have representatives from all these four stakeholder institutions here with us tonight. Okay, so this entire evening, just like last year, we hope to be done in exactly 2 hours. Tonight is divided into 5 distinct but related parts, and so we ask you to please pay rapt attention to each beautiful part that is about to unfold. My colleague Lovin C has already done the first parts of acknowledging our laureates and our dignitaries here with us. So already we are in part 2. I told you to please pay attention because the night will go really fast. So for our second part, this is the part where we receive various addresses from our stakeholders to this project. We will kick off by inviting the director of the Menchia Palace Museum, Mr. Ivor Ajimaindia, to give us the welcome address. Thank you.
Yes.
Today marks exactly 85 years from 1931 since the elders of Kumasi and the British colonial authorities unofficially communicated to the Gold Coast colony that the Asantehene Prempeh I had joined eternity. We will humbly invite the heritage bearer, his great-grandnephew, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, to lead us in a minute of silence in his memory as we stand. May his soul, the soul of those who perish, ashore the Indian Ocean, and those of others who return, continue to rest in peace. Please be seated. Imperial ambitions, reflected in Asante's own history of lost battles, looted regalia, and exile, shaped the creative outlook of his visual artists. From goldsmiths and bronze casters to terracotta artists in the 1800s. The most visible reminders of these were returned from the British Museum and the Victoria and Albert Museum 2 years ago. The Asantehene's position was that contemporary art in Ghana faces a real threat. Local acquisition and patronage are increasingly weak, as Ghanaian works are being purchased or lost through auction markets. The Otumfuo Art Awards is therefore a mechanism of self-renewal and internal appreciation. After the inaugural last May, 2 works of the laureates, Professor Atudilaki and Kwame Akoto, were part of the Hands of Heritage exhibition at the National Gallery in Victoria, Seychelles. It was in spite and in the spirit of an MOU with the Creative Seychelles Agency. And again, we are happy to have the Executive Director with us. We have had similar engagements with the National Trust Commission of the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Rwandan Cultural Heritage Academy, in which the shared histories of these ancient kingdoms will be better related to the youth of their countries through ICT. As we welcome all of you, we are mindful of the intentions that unite us. We have benefited from the historical memories of the 103-year-old Agnes Adokufo, wife of the late Asantehene Prempeh II. Over 6 years ago, our current collections manager, Gordon Frimpong, worked with her to secure for us more than 100 visual images documenting the socio-cultural movements and people of Kumasi from the 1950s. We have conducted similar exercises on acquisition of old photography for archiving and possible exhibitions. A working title of the images of Kumasi will benefit from a British Museum grant as part of its image makers that is exploring photographs from Africa. We continue to receive inquiries on our restitution journeys locally and internationally, including from some of you distinguished guests. Perhaps this is an opportunity to explain some few developments. The Wireless Collection in the United Kingdom, which has some of the most exotic global works of art, especially gold collection of the 19th century millionaire, Sir Richard Wallace, has designed 2 major exhibitions of English and Ashanti interest. On May 29th, a couple of weeks from now, there will be the opening of Winston Churchill's The Painter, the art of the famous British leader of the Allied forces during the Second World War, and whose 50 painting exhibition has already been oversubscribed in the entire 6 months. It will be followed from October 14th to November 2027 by Encountering Gold, Ashanti and the Wallace Collection in the housekeeper's room at the Hartford House. The 5-month exhibition of gold regalia looted in the Third Anglo-Ashanti War in 1874 will officially be opened by the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei Tutu II and will have a companion international conference of over 200 participants. It will be the formal openings of our restitution engagement with them. Again, in the last 2 years, from May 2024, we have worked with the Wellcome Collection in London, a major trust established in memory of another famous British millionaire, scientist, and art collector, Henry Wellcome. He also purchased looted objects from the 19th century. We have done the identification and authentication of the objects at their national collection in England, and developing a request for the permanent return of the first 8 of 56 objects. This should be at the end of this year, and the first return will be from early next year. The provenance history entailed translations from Arabic into English of talismanic materials and objects from the early 1800s to the 50s. This is funded by them and involved 2 specialists, including Professor David Owusu-Ansah of James Madison University. This was a period when Muslim clerics dominated military policies during the reign of Asantehene Osei Kwame and those of his succeeding brothers, Asantehenes Osei Bonsu and Osei Akoto. On November 9th last year, we visited the National Army Museum in the Industrial Park outside of Stevenage in north of London, which has some of the other looted objects, including, ironically, gifts from the great imperial empress, Queen Victoria, to Asantehene Kofi Kakari. They were taken by her own looting brigade, which did not seem to know the difference between home gifts, that is homemade ones, and indigenous ones. On the return from the October inquest and authentication, lithographic images were presented for Otumfuo's review on October 29th. It was, however, during the London visit that we discovered famous paintings of two soldiers from Kwabri district in the Mampong Tin town of Kumasi. That is very close to Kumasi. That's the Hungarian who we will be celebrating this evening, entitled The Hungarian Artist in the Gold Coast, Ghana. We have developed a strategy for a central storage facility to house incoming objects and those already in our care, ensuring that these ancestral handmaidens are properly secured in their original homes. Aside the Kotokohene's personal interest and investment, goodness favored our collaboration with Justice and Repair. In collaboration with them, a new central museum storage with conservation and traditional music house will be completed before the end of the year and will be the largest in the country, standing alongside the new Arts and Culture Gallery in this palace, which is set to be open in the coming months, probably 2 months from now, by the Asantehene. We are grateful to its founders, the lawyer previously with MacArthur Foundation in Chicago, Yvonne Dakwapoku, and the Kenyan non-resident senior fellow at the Atlantic Council, and formerly with the Wellspring Foundation in the United States, Dr. Godfrey Odongo. As well, we are partnering the Nelson Mandela Foundation in a major exhibition on the sometimes little discussed slave trade in the Indian Ocean. This will be in Mauritius in August this year, and it is titled Forgotten Since 1, of some 35 paintings, which will be varied in November at this museum in another exhibition as Forgotten Since 2. It will be with some Indian Ocean artists, including from Seychelles. Since the Otumfuo-led restitution journeys began, we have received global gestures and media attention, not least from reparatory institutions, but high art patrons. To help with growth and broader internationalization of our objectives, the executive chairman of the Savannah Group, Thomas Swanika, who in diplomacy is also the Consul General for Colombia, and wife of Ambassador Johan Swanika, last week donated to us a brand new 4-wheel drive. Whilst we share these with you, we revert to our 2026 laureates and applaud them. Our big welcome, however, goes to Lady Julia Osei Tutu. The chief patron of the Arts Award, who has supported Ghanaian artists, and quietly over the years as a collector. Of course, she does this with her husband. Yesterday, she hosted the laureates, members of the diplomatic community, and friends to a welcome cocktail reception that carried her own distinctive touch. We will want to welcome again and again to Kumasi Professor Malcolm MacLeod, co-founder 30 years ago of the Menchia Palace Museum, a good friend of the Asantehene who has traveled from Scotland to be with us on his 85th birthday. This year also happens to be 60 years since he started coming to Ghana as a young scholar from Oxford. It was through his friend, the Archbishop Emeritus of the Catholic Church, His Eminence Peter Kwesi Sapon. Professor MacLeod, you may acknowledge your recognition. Appreciations are also due the institutions of the laureates coming from outside Ghana. Their travels and other logistics were self-funded, for which we are most grateful. From London, the Theatre Modern and the British Museum, and from the United States, Ouzu's and Efia Prempeh Studios in New York. The delegation from Eswatini and their Ministry of Culture, and the Executive Director of Creative Seychelles Agency from the government of Seychelles. The museum staff put in a lot. The collections department and the head of research, Dr. Osei, who also led our team in the UNESCO Maiden National Memory of World Register. We are also grateful to our curator, who is an associate of the museum and who we commissioned to do the portraits of the laureates, Patrick Williams Diodu, and of course to Nana Efia Prempe, who was also with us last year. The finance team at the museum ensured that prudent savings from last year will cater for the expenditure of this event, which has been held mainly on the shoulders of the museum's revenue. We are developing a financial partnership strategy to keep this going, and we would like to express our profound gratitude to others like the DB Sapon Foundation, set up by the children of our former board chair, Mr. Yaomenu Sapon. We will also like to say that the revamped museum website has started publishing its restitutions updates, cultural assets, the tangibles and the intangibles, as well as briefs on the annual financial incomes and expenditures, grants and others as a standard practice, and we encourage you to visit the site. Again, we would like to thank all of you, and you are most welcome to the Mencha Palace and to the museum.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give another deserving round of applause to Mr. Ivor Ajimaidua. I dare say that you will not find another director more hardworking yet as unassuming as Mr. Ivor Ajimaidua. Any Ajumama Asantehene Ghana, Mr. Ivor, thank you. Okay. We would now like to welcome remarks from the UNESCO representative in Ghana, Mr. Edmond Mukala.
Your Majesty, Otumfuo Tutu, Honorable Abla Jifa-Gomache, Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Her Ladyship, Julia Osei Tutu, Nana Nom, Excellencies, members of the Corps Diplomatic present here, distinguished guests, our dear Director of the Mencha Palace Museum, esteemed artists and laureates of the night, dedicated members of the professional media and press corps, ladies and gentlemen. It is an immense sense of reverence and shared purpose that I stand within this historic hall of the Mencha Palace. We are gathered today in a space that is far more than a seat of traditional power. It is one of the living hearts of a civilization. For centuries, the Ashanti Kingdom has been a custodian of human dignity, a center of intellectual rigor, and a bastion of artistic sophistication. Today, as we prepare to celebrate the second edition of the Asantehene's Art Prize, we are participating in a moment that is both a continuation of an ancient lineage and a bold leap into the creative future on the African continent. Allow me first to wish His Majesty Otumfuo Tutu a belated birthday, Papa. Yes. UNESCO presence here today is a gesture, a deep formal gratitude. We owe an immense debt of thanks to His Majesty. His Majesty has exemplified the role of transformative leadership in the 21st century by championing the protection, promotion, and sustainability of Ghana's artistic heritage. He has provided the vital patronage that allows the creative spirit to flourish. In many parts of the world, traditional heritage is under threat from the forces of homogenization. However, here in the Ashanti Kingdom, we see the opposite. We see a royal vision that uses heritage as a shield and a sword, protecting the ancient while striking new ground in the creative arts. And may I also be permitted to wish to recognize Lady Julia Osei Tutu, who through her unwavering dedication to the empowerment of artistic communities has ensured that these awards are inclusive and representative. Her focus on ensuring that the youth and women have a seat at the artistic table has transformed this competition into a movement. UNESCO particularly appreciates the sustainability focus of this initiative. This award do not only celebrate one-off achievements, they create a cultural ecosystem where artists gain visibility, mentorship, and the resources to continue their vital work for decades to come. A cornerstone of this movement in this exceptional collaboration with the Marshall Museum is our director, present here. UNESCO believes that museums are the true classroom of the soul. No longer can museums be static repositories of artifacts. There must be active participants in the creative economy. Our collaboration with the Marshall Palace Museum in the context of this awards is a testament to this belief. By housing the work of the laureate within this historic precinct, we are situating contemporary excellence within the continuum of the Ashanti history. The museum commitment to modern curatorial standards, research, and documentation serves as an international model for how traditional sites can lead in the globalized digital age. UNESCO also takes this opportunity to praise the visionary leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of Ghana, faithfully represented here by the able Honorable Abladzi Vakomashe, Minister of Culture, Tourism and Arts. We have consistently observed, Honorable, a strategic shift in the ministry pathway, one that moves beyond simple preservation and into the realm of strategic development. The ministry have recognized that the future of Ghana lies in its people creativity. By connecting the heritage of the past with the forward-looking vision of the present, the ministry is building an ecosystem where heritage creativity meets. The recently implemented UNESCO Culture 2030 Indicators initiative with the ministry has been championing with the support of the European Union with our Excellency Ambassador present here, in whom we would like to express again our gratitude, and which the city of Kumasi has been one of the key pilot city in the implementation of this project at the urban level alongside with the national level implementation. This has provided an important framework for measuring the contribution of culture to sustainable development. The findings of the report underline that cultural and creative industry generate employment, particularly for young people and women. Museum and heritage institutions stimulate tourism and local economies. Public investment in culture strengthens social cohesion, civic participation, and national identity. Honorable Minister, the leadership we see today is indeed a blueprint for integrating culture into the national development goals. So tonight, as we celebrate the laureate and artists whose work reminds us that art is not merely an object of admiration, but an interpretation of our history, challenging our assumption and imagining our future. This moment is especially significant in light of Ghana's leadership on international stage, where Ghana's role at the United Nations in advancing resolution related to the restitution and return of cultural property has reignited a necessary global conversation about justice, memory, and historical repair, converting the force of triangular trade of shame into a triangular dialogue of mutual understanding and human dignity. The return of African cultural heritage is not simply about the movement of objects from one museum to another. It is about restoring dignity, reconnecting communities with their history, while ensuring that a future generation can appreciate the creativity and their ancestors' ingenuity within their own cultural landscapes. In this regard, UNESCO also wishes to congratulate once again His Majesty for the important contribution made by some of his subjects, cultural custodians, scholars, practitioners in supporting Ghana through the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts in advancing the inscription efforts for the craftsmanship of Kente and for high life music and dance, and also in particular in the recent Memory of the World registry that has been just registered a few months ago. These are, yes, don't be shy, you can applaud yourself. These are invaluable expressions of Ghanaians and African identity whose recognition strengthens the safeguarding of Africa's living heritage for future generations. And I'm winding up. So this is why initiatives such as the Asantehene's Art Prize matter deeply. They nurture talent, they inspire excellence, and they create visibility for African artists worldwide. It is in like manner that I'm pleased, in consultation with the director of the Marshall Museum, I'm pleased and honored to inform you that the World Movie Awards and UNESCO and the Marshall Museum have advanced significantly in their consultation to preserve and promote Africa's living heritage and creative identity. What does it mean? It means that we are going to launch very soon a movie prize award on tradition and cultural values. So movies globally will be valued and assessed on how deep they reflect the depths of culture and traditions. And the competition, of course, wait, on that one you have to wait. The competition, of course, will carry the name of no one other than His Majesty. And yes, you can shout. This is a global movie award. The prize for the continental Africa will carry His Majesty's legacy as he has been championing this era of heritage culture, but in particular, we would like his legacy in nurturing and inspiring younger generation to understand that you should not be ashamed or shy of your tradition and culture, but these are actually your roots and what makes your cultural identity. And he is our living testimony, our champion and our leader in inspiring, in grooming, and in building, and also in bringing forward. And so we're looking forward, once all the work within his entourage has been completed, and we know His Majesty himself will announce it at the proper time. But just know it's coming, and movie producer, be ready, because the greater prize also is coming again in very soon. So we believe this gesture will not only honor the Ashanti Kingdom's immense contribution to African heritage and leadership, but will also establish a cultural significant platform capable of inspiring generations across Africa and the diaspora. As UNESCO, we reaffirm our commitment to working with the government, traditional authorities, cultural institutions, artists and community to protect and promote cultural heritage in all its forms, tangible and intangible. We commend the Kingdom of Asante for continuing to champion cultural leadership with vision and purpose. We congratulate all the laureates present whose achievement we honored with this evening. And we encourage the next generation of African artists to continue creating boldly, truthfully, and fearlessly. May this art prize continue to grow as a beacon of African excellence, cultural renewal, and international cooperation. I thank you very much. May that P, that was my word I said in Ashanti. Thank you.
Mr. Mukala, as we'll say in Ghana, okay, Mr. Mukala, well done. You're lucky you spoke that tree, because you remember last year you promised to come up here and speak some fluent tree. So yeah, but you can do better. So maybe the 5th edition, you speak 10 sentences. D'accord? All right. Okay. Please put your hands together for Mr. Edmond Mukala. Okay. Now would like to hear from a very special lady to Ghana's cultural and creative cause. The Honorable Minister of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, the Honorable Abla Jifa Gomashi. Please put your hands together as she comes.
Good evening, everybody. Otumfuo, Your Royal Majesty. As I was sitting there listening to the eloquent MCs, my mind went back to, I think it must have been 2015, that I joined you to open a hotel here in Kumasi. And I asked you why we can't just say Otumfuo, because in the whole world, there can only be one Otumfuo. Otumfuo Medasi. Your Majesty, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, Asantehene, and life patron of arts and culture. Your beautiful wife, Lady Julia. I want to ask permission through Openyi Ivor so that I fly on the wings of the MC's protocols eloquently listed already, out of fear of perhaps forgetting to acknowledge one of the Otumfuo's guests. Who am I? So permission has been granted. I see that Otumfuo has nodded. It is a profound honor for me to be here as a special guest of honor at the 2nd Otumfuo Osei Tutu II Asantehene Awards. A special event aimed at celebrating our identity, excellence, and the soul of our beautiful country, Ghana, expressed through the power of arts, culture, creativity, and heritage. And above all, a celebration of the visionary leadership embodied in one man, His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II. Your Majesty, for decades, you have stood as one of the greatest custodians of Ghanaian culture on the global stage and in Ghana. Through your wisdom, dignity, scholarship, and statesmanship, you have elevated the image of Ghanaian culture to the appreciation and celebration of people across the continents. From the preservation of our heritage to the promotion of the creative arts, from education to tourism development, your leadership continues to inspire generations across Ghana, Africa, and the diaspora. I bring you warm assurances from His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama that government remains fully committed to supporting your efforts and all national initiatives aimed at promoting tourism, culture, and creative arts. We recognize that the creative economy is not merely entertainment, but a strategic pillar for national development, job creation, youth empowerment, and global cultural influence. This is in line with the mission and vision of the Asantehene Arts Awards, which centers on promoting Ghanaian and African artistic heritage while supporting future generations of creatives. I'm therefore happy to inform you, Your Excellency or Your Majesty, that the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts remains deeply committed to safeguarding Ghana's rich cultural heritage through sustained stakeholder engagement, technical consultations, and collaborations with stakeholders such as Parliament, civil society, private sector practitioners, and international partners. In one of such collaborations, the ministry in 2015 successfully facilitated Ghana's ratification and implementation of 6 UNESCO cultural conventions. This milestone has strengthened the legal and institutional framework for the protection of our tangible and intangible heritage, enhanced opportunities for Ghanaian creatives and cultural practitioners, promoted cultural diversity, and increased access to international cooperation, funding, and capacity building programs. The positive impact is already evident in the glowing and growing global recognition of Ghanaian culture, hence the listing of Kete, and I dare say in my language, Kete, high life music and dance as intangible cultural heritage from Ghana. But it is important that we acknowledge that Ghana's successful inscription of Kente in 2024 and high life music and dance in 2025 on the UNESCO ICH list did not just happen spontaneously. Your Majesty, the successful listing of these 2 living cultural assets of our country was as a result of deliberate multi-year national processes involving community participation, technical documentation, safeguarding planning, and formal nomination procedures initiated by the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts with guidance from the 2003 Convention for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage. Permit me, Otumfuo, to share a background to the success story of Kete being listed. Before UNESCO nomination, Ghana had to identify, document, and validate the cultural elements at the national level. The ICH should be confirmed as crafts, which is already recognized in Ghana's Cultural Heritage Inventory. To achieve this was the inventory involving mapping major weaving communities in the country, Bonyue, Agotime, and Petwe, and documenting community-specific techniques, meanings, transmission systems, and community custodians. Otumfuo, finally, nomination dossier is prepared, comprising detailed descriptions of the elements, evidence of community participation, safeguarding plans, photographs, videos, and testimonies, and proof of inclusion in the national inventory. The ministry had to work with the National Folklore Board, an agency under the ministry, Ghana Commission for UNESCO, National Commission on Culture, an agency also under the ministry, and traditional authorities and weaving communities to coordinate research, community engagement, and international representation to successfully file the nomination dossier for consideration by UNESCO. UNESCO then will look at the country's compliance with the 2003 Convention, community involvement and ownership, safeguarding feasibility and contribution to cultural diversity before considering giving approval for certificates for listing. Your Majesty, very, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, again, in furtherance of our commitment to promote culture and creative arts, I am pleased to announce that the long-awaited review of Ghana's 2004 culture policy has been completed, approved by Cabinet, and will soon be officially launched for implementation. You should be clapping. Thank you. This renewed policy framework, the reviewed policy framework will reposition our cultural and creative industries for the modern era. It will strengthen heritage preservation, support artists and creatives, deepen cultural education, expand cultural diplomacy, and unlock new economic opportunities for our people. This milestone reflects government's determination to build a vibrant and globally competitive creative economy, one that honors our traditions while embracing innovation and the future. Your Majesty, Nananom, distinguished artists, one of the quiet but profoundly significant achievements since I took office as the Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts has been the work of the Bureau of Ghana Languages, an agency under the ministry in preserving and promoting Ghana's indigenous languages. Through dedicated linguistic research, documentation and orthography development, the Bureau successfully supported the transformation of the Ahanta language from a predominantly oral tradition into a written language with standardized spelling and educational materials. This milestone not only safeguards the rich heritage, history, and identity of the Ahanta people for future generations, but also strengthens literacy, cultural pride, and inclusion, national development. By giving written expression to language, we are ensuring that songs, folk tales, proverbs, and indigenous knowledge systems of communities are preserved and celebrated as part of Ghana's living cultural legacy. This is in line with UNESCO's requirements of countries that have ratified the 2003 Convention for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage and the celebration of the International Mother Language Day. Ohene, in the coming months, we will be unveiling the next 2 languages that we have developed and we have worked on successfully. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Majesty, the ministry is also working seriously to provide adequate protection of intellectual property of our creatives. With guidance from the Creative Arts Industry Act 2020, Act 1048, we remain steadfast in formalizing our sector and protecting the intellectual property of our creators. Let me take this opportunity to announce that the ministry is in partnership with the World Intellectual Property Organization to organize for the first time in history African Regional Fantastic Agents for Creative Economy. Acronym is FACE. This conference will be in Ghana in June 2026. The initiative is intended to benefit stakeholders in the creative industry of over 20 African and Caribbean nations. At this conference, Ghanaian creators and artists will be provided access to the WIPO Creators Learn Intellectual Property Platform, acronym is CLIP, which is designed to raise awareness of intellectual property, rights, and related management practices, and to ensure that the creators receive appropriate recognition and fair remuneration for their work. Now to our distinguished foreign dignitaries and guests who have traveled from across the world to honor this occasion. I say Ayiko Mumoni Ejumawai. Your presence here tonight is a testament to the growing global significance of Ghanaian arts and culture. We are deeply honored by your support and friendship as you experience the warmth of Menchia and the hospitality of Ghana. I hope you carry with you memories that will draw you back again and again. Menchia will always welcome you. Ghana will always welcome you. To all the award winners this evening, congratulations. Your talent, sacrifice, creativity, and resilience continue to shape the cultural narrative of our nation. Through your work, you preserve our stories, inspire our youth, and project Ghana's identity to the world. Tonight's recognition is richly deserved. Finally, Otumfuo, permit me to once again express my deepest appreciation for this noble initiative. The Asantehene Arts Awards is a national statement that culture and arts matter. We matter. It is an enduring investment in the soul of our nation. May your reign continue to bring peace, wisdom, unity, and progress to Asantehene and to Ghana. May God bless the Otumfuo. May God bless the Asantehene and your beautiful wife. May God bless Asantehene, and may God bless our creators, and finally, may God bless our homeland Ghana, and make our nation greater and stronger. Ohene, me da ase so mama kwenye isa me mekasa anadwi. Onyame sha bebre.
Thank you, Honorable Ablajifa Gomashi. Now, welcoming all the way from the Kingdom of Eswatini, we would like to hear from the Chief Executive Officer of the National Trust Commission of the Kingdom of Eswatini, Mr. Mduduzi Nzunisa.
Your Majesty, King Otumfuo, Osei, Tutu II, Her Royal Highness, the Queen, the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Excellencies, Ambassadors present, esteemed artists and curators, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening. It is my deepest sense of humility and profound respect that I stand before you today. We extend our warmest greetings from the Kingdom of Eswatini, carrying the goodwill and regards of our own cultural custodians to this gathering of excellence. On behalf of the Kingdom of Eswatini, I wish to express our sincere and heartfelt gratitude to the organizers of the awards. Thank you for the invitation to witness this second edition, which stands as a testament to the enduring power of the creative spirit. To the Mansha Palace Museum, thank you for your unwavering commitment to preserving the Asante legacy, and for providing a platform that recognizes not just the talent of today, but the cultural heritage that echoes our future. This occasion is deeply personal for Eswatini's National Trust Commission. It represents more than a mere cultural exchange. It is the manifestation of a diplomatic bridge established by His Majesty, King Mswati III. The warmth of our welcome today serves as a vivid reminder of the shared values of the two monarchs, heritage and artistic preservation that unite our two great nations. This current collaboration between Eswatini National Museum and Mansha Palace Museum began with a historic state visit by His Majesty King Mswati III to the Asante Kingdom. This encounter was far more than just a ceremonial exchange. It was a profound meeting of minds between two monarchs who share a deep, abiding commitment to the preservation of traditional values and the safeguarding of national identity in an ever modernizing world. During these deliberations, the two sovereigns recognized that while our kingdoms are geographically separated, we are intrinsically linked by the prominence of our traditional institutions and our belief that culture serves as a foundation for societal progress. This real friendship cultivated a shared vision to elevate the role of museums as not merely repository of the past, but as dynamic hubs of education, pride, and national diplomacy. The vision articulated by our leaders found its most tangible expression in November 2025, with the formal signing of an MOU between the two museums. This landmark agreement serves as a framework for sustainable cooperation, committing both our organizations to a path of shared knowledge, technical assistance, and cultural promotion. Your Majesty, this MOU is not merely a document held in administrative files, it is a living commitment to institutional growth. It acknowledges that the preservation of African heritage requires collective effort, standardized best practices, and the sharing of diverse curatorial experiences. By aligning our efforts, the Eswatini National Trust Commission and the Mansia Palace Museum